What's up everybody, Christian here with a little philosophy for you today. Let's talk about self-education. High school and college end. Even PhDs end, or so I tell myself. And formal classes are over, but are we done learning? If you think you're done learning, you're either wrong or going the way of the dinosaur. Let's just hope you're wrong. The reason is because the world is drastically changing, faster than ever before because of technology and how the workforce is changing with that technology. With the increase of technology on the job, the requirements to work that job change. Employees have to be able to operate computers and software no matter what field they're in, no matter what they're doing. In today's world, it's probably harder to find a job that doesn't use a computer. Contrast that to 30 years ago. And Darwin's theory of natural selection? Very much alive in the job market today. You may not find that mentioned in The Origin of Species, but I think it's implied there. Those who don't adapt well to a changing market are either forced to change careers or become jobless. But when new skills are acquired on the job, few of us go back to school to learn just those skills. This would be impractical and disruptive to both the employer and the employee. Thus, the ability to self-teach is a necessity throughout life as we learn to cope with our changing external environment. But here's the good news. Humans are really good at adapting to our own creations. Now, there's a natural evolution of primary teachers throughout our life. It begins with our parents, evolves into our school teachers, and then finally evolves into ourself. Now, this isn't to say that you can't have teachers or other mentors throughout your life, but looking holistically at the rest of your life, you're going to be your primary teacher. So essentially, you become your primary teacher after your formal education. Continually learning is the investment in habitually improving oneself. Now, jumping back to the formal education phase of your life, you can have a degree without being formally educated. Just watch a little TV, it's obvious. Now, jumping back to formal education, that piece of paper, the degree, doesn't confer any understanding or abilities by itself. Likewise, you can be educated without a degree. Abe Lincoln is a great example of this. Self-taught, wrote beautiful speeches, big reader, highly educated man. G.K. Chesterton was the same way. Self-educated, no college, became a prolific writer, and Abe Lincoln and G.K. Chesterton can both write better than the majority of people walking the face of this planet today. And besides writers, there were also a handful of scientists who were also self-educated. So, it spans all fields. So when I was younger, I recognized the necessity of teaching myself to mostly get ahead in school, but also learn the things I was interested in because, well, they just don't teach everything in school. And self-teaching or self-education that complements my formal education has gone a long way to opening up new doors for me and new opportunities. For example, I taught myself calculus from my dad's old college textbook when I was 15, a couple years before my local high school would teach it to us. And I even rediscovered a theorem called Wilson's theorem that was a test for prime numbers. Unfortunately, I was born just a few hundred years too late. Also, I'd learned to teach myself things or just try new things when I was playing youth hockey, but I was perhaps the only player that didn't know how to stop properly because I was used to roller skating instead of ice skating. I grew up in the South, okay? We don't have ice here. But once I learned how to stop effectively, my game changed for the better. Ultimately, self-teaching is more an attitude than a method. Everyone can teach themselves differently according to their own preferences. Some by watching, others by reading, still more by just jumping in and doing it. But all of them require a motivation and dedication to achieve something that they had not done before. The practice of learning new things outside a formal setting bolsters confidence, adventure, patience, and a realization that most obstacles are, if not illusions of the mind, surmountable through the exercise of the mind. And it's those small boosts in confidence that grow and grow into a great but deserved sense of confidence to achieve even bigger things. And besides all that, teaching yourself something is a very practical skill too. When something breaks in your house, you can go to YouTube, look up a video, and learn how to fix it yourself. Or, if you're interested in learning a new skill or need an introduction to a new gadget, for example, there's probably a shelf full of books out there written just for that particular problem. And when practicing self-education or teaching yourself anything, use all the available resources that are at your fingertips. YouTube, books, websites. Sometimes things will be learned through trial and error, but the most efficient way is to look for those resources first. Might save you some time, some energy, some uncontrollable crying in a fetal position. In summary, never stop learning. And listen to your teacher, because that's you now. And that's it for Coffee Break Philosophy on self-education, self-teaching, self-learning, self-knowledge infusement, whatever you want to call it. Go get educated! Go get educated! Go get educated! And as always, subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Give this video a thumbs up if you've been sitting in your chair the whole video with your thumb literally up, like this. And let me know what things you've taught yourself that have greatly benefited your life in the comments below. Till next time.